Hello farmers, welcome back to No Man's Land. As we know, March is here and we need to plant our oats in the two fields that we have. I've already gone ahead and leased the tree mulcher, and I've been down to the field, took care of the stumps that were down there in the field, took care of the stumps that were over here where the cow barn's going to go in the future. The plow was down there, so when I was down there, I took care of the areas that were not plowed yet. So that field is almost ready to go. We do have to lease the rock picker because we got rocks down that field. At first, I thought, do I want to wait until we harvest all the fields again this year, and then I'll lease the rock picker and go around and get all the rocks? But now, since it's going to be our seed drill and possibly our combine harvester going through that field, we're going to lease the rock picker today and pick up the rocks down field before we go ahead and plant in it. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our drill, which is right over here. That's the pottinger. We're going to come over here and plant oats in this field because this field's ready to go. And we're already up here. I don't have any more seed or fertilizer. This is a bag of lime, so we're just going to use what we have in the drill. Then we'll have to go buy some later on, I'm pretty darn sure. First thing I want to do is I want to put this on the plow and make sure I got that to not allow to create fields. Yeah, we're all set there. While I'm on this is a modded plow. Actually, it's considered a subsoiler, but it's modded and it's actually considered a plow. That's why we can create a field with it. You can also, if you wanted to, there is the mod on the Giants mod hub to where you can get cultivators and subsoilers and get the mod to where they're allowed to create fields. So that is a mod right in the Giants mod hub. So I would recommend going ahead and doing that. Let me go ahead and lowering that down. But if you want to get the plow that I'm using / subsoiler, that's through Stevie, and his link to his Facebook page should be in the link below to all the mods I use from Stevie. Make it nice and simple for everyone that way, just by going to his Facebook page, because he's got a lot of mods on there that I don't even use. So if you like some of the stuff he has there, he's got plenty more on his Facebook page. So go on and check it on out. So like I said, the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to back on up, hook up our pottinger drill, seed drill that we have, and get some oats planted. At least that's the plan. Okay, so we do got a decent amount of seed and a decent amount of fertilizer. Oats should be that symbol right there. I hope I'm right. So originally I've been talking about sorghum and oats. Then I got thinking last time, why would I plant sorghum? I don't get chopped straw, which is half of our fertilizing stage. So we're going to be planting some oats here today in both fields. This field, as we can see, has got some lime on it, so nope, that was already down. And let's get planting here. So we got a fully fixed T6 and it's all washed, so I wonder how fast we can actually plant. This planter is also a mod from Stevie. It just basically, well, it does increase the speed that we can plant on, but also this one here will allow us to plant basically anything, but I'm going to stick to the original crop type that I can plant. So if we want to plant sunflowers or whatever, we're going to have to get ourselves a planter. I'm not going to plant sunflowers or corn or anything with this. We'll have to get ourselves an original planter. So now I probably should double check to make sure this is actually oats we are planting. I'm pretty sure it is. And yes, it is oats. So we are good to go. This will be one stage of fertilization. We're going to need another one. We'll have to wait until they grow, and then we'll probably lease a fertilizer spreader if one doesn't come up for sale. Yeah, so we woke up in the month of March, checked the store, and nothing is for sale for used stuff. And I know a couple of you keep saying out there as well, you find out when you lease equipment, in a matter of just a couple of days, that you find it's in the store for used. Now, I haven't had that much luck. But we got lucky with this drill here. I have used this drill last season and maybe the season before. This particular, I'm not sure about the modded one, but this drill here we've always used. I think this might be our 4th season now. But this might be the 2nd season I used the modded one and it came up in the store. But like the rock picker hasn't shown up. You would think the Rosla mash, we harvested like 3 times with that. That hasn't shown up either. So, I mean, it may be true, but I guess my luck just doesn't come my way. Not that I want the Rosla mash harvester now, because like I said, that was fine for the first couple fields. 4 fields that we have. Now that we got like 5 harvestable fields, the grass field I'm not going to count. But now that we got this many fields, it's getting to be where the Rosla mash is going to be too small for us. But hopefully here in a couple months, like I said, June/July, when we sell the furniture, we should have about $250,000, I would say, easily. I say easily. Let's see. 2,000. Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. We could have that much. Now, if we get really lucky, like I said, maybe one of the big combines will be out for sale, and then I have to scrounge for extra cash. I don't want to borrow any more in the loan. We started off with the original $200,000 loan. We paid off $50,000. I said I'll never borrow more. I can't go back into the bank and borrow more. I'm going to try to avoid that. But hopefully, one of the big combines doesn't come up for sale and say I'm like $10,000 short. Oh man, I'm going to scrounge for money at that point. Also, at the end of the last episode, we did put down the biomass heating plant. I did some quick looking into it. So I think that round bale, which I thought was silage, a silage bale, I think that's actually for poplars. I keep forgetting because poplar is a crop I did when it came out in 17 once. And after harvesting it once in 17 and sold it, I'm like, yeah, that wasn't really quite my style. It wasn't really worth it. So, and I kind of forgot poplars you can put into bales. So I think that's what that one is. But we can sell straw there if we want to. In the long run, we will eventually be putting down the big BGA biomass heating plant. I think that's what, a couple $1 million, something like that, or is it $1.5 million, whatever it is. And that will take silage and everything else. But at least we got another spot to sell wood chips if we want to. And the sell point didn't cost us a penny. Well, it cost us like $600. I had to do some landscaping around there. But it gives us another spot to put wood chips. And we do got some wood chips piling up in the furniture shop and in the sawmill. So at some point, I could sell the wood chips. I mean, we're not talking big cash here. But whatever, it just gives us another option to sell something somewhere else. But as for today, like I said, we're going to plant oats in this field that we're already doing. Then we're going to go on down. Well, probably have to go on down and top off with some more seed and fertilizer. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use all the seed and fertilizer in this drill before I finish. And then we'll head on down and we'll drop off the seed drill at the store and maybe top it off with more seed and fertilizer. Then we got to lease the rock picker, go around, pick up rocks. And I think what I'm going to do, instead of going back and forth with the rock picker, I'm just going to put the rocks in the pile down there. I can always go down later with the bucket loader and our grain trailer and just put the rocks. I should be able to put rocks into the grain trailer and then come on back and dump them on into our line production. And then we'll head on back on down and put oats in that field, and we should be pretty much good to go for at least one more month. And like I said, these crops in this field should grow, and then hopefully at that point I can maybe just lease a fertilizer spreader, because this crop here, like I said, the oats that we're planting today, eventually when we harvest them in the fall, that all goes to milling it over, our flour mill, to make flour, to set on down to bread pit to make bread. So the more oats we get, the more flour we get, the more bread we get. And as you saw, we just sold bread a little while ago, and it sold pretty darn good. And actually, I think we're still making bread, I do believe. So it's going to take me a little while to get this field done, and we got another field to go. So instead of it being a whole episode of me going around this field here, I think what we'll do is I'll probably just do a little bit of a jump cut, and I'll bring it back when I'm just about done planting this field. And like I said, I'll have to go down to the store, I'm sure, to buy seed and fertilizer. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and lease the rock picker. Maybe by then it'll come up for sale in the store. Who knows? Things can pop up during the day. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes. Just under 40 minutes to get that field done, so not too bad. The drill's already at the other field, topped off with seed and fertilizer, and I've already got the stone picker already leased, which dropped our money down to below $150,000, but that's okay. If we don't do this, it just costs us more money, and if we don't get the fertilizer and seed, well, we don't earn the money, so you gotta spend it to make it, as they kind of say. Well, let's go ahead and pick up some rocks, and like I said, I'll have to find a nice little place to put these rocks somewhere. In the woods, probably not, I don't want, not in the woods itself, but On the edge of the woods, there's a couple spots where the grass is not too tall. So if I put the rocks there, I can come down later, like I said, with the bucket and the trailer and pick up the rocks and bring it to the lime production at any time. Probably not until we get the other fields done later in the year. So I did check the store, and there is still nothing in the used vehicle section for anything on sale. Must be March. All the farmers are buying everything up, so not a good time to buy used stuff in March, apparently. So let's go ahead and unfold and lower this down. Yeah, a couple spots right here. I can go ahead and dump the rocks. I'm pretty sure I'll get a full load a couple times here. The one good thing about planting in the other field, where the lime was, it's kind of easy to see where you've been. Because it's either white or it's not. So where it's not, where it's white, keep on planting. But we got that done. The other thing I was checking on, I took a couple breaks. Just about a minute break just to get up and stretch my legs. But I did notice the chickens. It felt like I just fed the chickens. But I think I fed the chickens in January. And they're getting just a little bit low on the feed. They could probably go another month, but I don't want to chance it. So if I can remember when I get this done, got to go back up, get the trailer and top them off with some feed. We got plenty of feed for the chickens. So there's also a possibility where if I got enough feed, what I may start doing is taking some of the grain I was keeping for the chickens and maybe bring it on down to milling it over and possibly make some more flour. But one thing I did learn last season when harvesting the sorghum, I'm glad I turned the bakery on when I thought, I thought I was going to not turn it on for like another month. I said, let me go ahead and turn it on. And yeah, I'm glad I did because, the bakery wasn't quite producing and going through the flour as fast as I thought it would. So this year, it's going to get turned on as soon as we get the grain going. So this field already has a stage of fertilization into it because it was once grass. So by subsoiling the grass into the soil, we get a stage of fertilization. So when we plant the oats in this field, there will be a second stage. Now the only thing this field will be missing is the lime itself. So we'll lose the 15% plus the other 5%, which is in the rolling and also in the mulching. So we should be at around 80% harvesting when it comes time to. And I still got my fingers crossed that this year, that this is the year that we get a harvester. I guess I can go ahead and lease another one. I think I'm just going to buy one. For how much it cost me to lease one last year, I might as well go ahead and put the money into it. But as we kind of know, it seems to be like after the harvest season, that's when the harvesters come up. I haven't seen many harvesters recently. Probably the one that will come up will be the Roslamash, and the game's thinking, oh, he really likes this one. He's been leasing it over and over and over again. Let's give him the Roslamash. And then when it comes up for sale in the store, I'll be like, no, I don't need that now. It's too small. I need something bigger. Even the ones I pointed out, those are decent size, but as we can see, we're expanding more and more and more. So those combines are going to be good for maybe a year or two before those are undersized. Even the seed drill that we have now, it took me 40 minutes to plant that field there, and I got this one to go. And that's only 2 fields, and that is with a modded drill. I had to look it up. I was actually drilling at 13 miles an hour most of the time. But that modded one, which I should be able to drill like 16, I think. Too fast for real life, but in Farming Simulator, works out well when you're trying to save yourself a little bit of time to get some things done. I am waiting to see. I'm pretty sure someone's going to come up with a stone picker that's going to be like maybe 15 meters wide or something like that. I think this is 4 meters wide. I think. Not too sure. In my years of playing Farming Simulator, I have seen some mods that are just kind of really out there. Saw one where a corn chaff header was, I think it was 150 meters in width, Now, the header itself was 150 meters in width, but it would harvest 150 meters wide. So it was a standard header, but the working width was a lot bigger than the header itself. So the good thing about that is you could go down the road with a header, and when you got to a field about as wide as this, you make like one, possibly two passes, and you were done. I think that was back in 15 when I saw that. So at the rate we're going here with the rocks, I'm going to guess 2 loads. So about 4,000 liters. And as we found out, spreading lime in the other fields, although I got further than I thought it would with the lime that we had, 4,000 liters is not going to be enough to get the other fields done. But this fall, when we do all the harvesting and plow the fields again and get more stone, we should have more than enough rock to do this field here. And we also got to do the grass field. Now the other field should be good for a couple more years. If it's just like previous versions of Farming Simulator, it should be good for 3 harvests. So 1 harvest a year, obviously that's 3 years. Shouldn't take me too long to plant in this field either. This field is not as big as the one I just did. Now, the one thing with the rocks, I think I mentioned before, when I was on Elm Creek, before the patch came out, patch 1.2, I think we're on. So, yeah, before the patch came out before Christmas, when I went around the field, it didn't matter if there was rocks showing on the surface or not. So, like when I got to this little patch, like right here, I would still collect rocks. I'm not collecting rocks not anymore until I get actually over a patch of rocks. So if you want to save yourself some time and just get, collect where the rocks are, that's what you can do. But beforehand, it didn't matter where I was always collecting rocks. That's what I thought originally when I did it on Elm Creek. I'm like, okay, so I just got to go where the rocks are and pick them up. And then when I started going around the field, I'm like, wait a minute, there's no rocks here. So like this section here, you can see I'm not collecting no rocks, but in the previous patch, I was collecting rocks. So I was like, oh, so you got to do the whole field anyways. I just do the whole field anyways now just to be sure I get all the rocks out. I actually did miss on the other field I did. You may have saw it right where I started to plant. There was a little pile of rocks right in the corner that I missed. Also, when I was planting that field, this is when I started thinking, like, yep, having a second tractor would really be nice because I could hire Frank to go ahead and plant in that field. And I could have taken the second tractor, come on down here, leased the rock picker, and got to work on picking up the rocks. So, getting a couple jobs done at once. But, yep. Money, money, money. Harvester is definitely the next thing on my list to buy for the farm. Another tractor, I don't know when that will be on the list, but it's on the list. It's a little bit further down than the harvester. Fertilizer spreader would be nice as well. And then, of course, expanding the farm, getting more production buildings up. That's also, I don't want to say a priority, but it's on the list. It's just a matter of my list just keeps changing as we go along. But the harvester is definitely the next thing that we'll be purchasing before we go any further with anything else. We'll really know where we stand in a couple months when we go ahead and sell that furniture that we're making. And also at the same time, we should have, I would think by the time we sell the furniture in June/July, I think we'll have another 250,000 liters of silage to sell. So I'll probably be part of the next episode of cutting the grass. And of course putting it to the silo bunker, and of course compacting it, covering it. I think after this pass here, we'll find a nice little spot in the woods to take a dump. And that's where we'll put the rocks for now. And we'll just leave them there. would be kind of interesting if I could take the rocks, spread them out on the road, and use that as quote-unquote gravel. But I think that would cause a lot of problems. Actually, I could probably make another pass. But you know what? We're going to call it good for now. Let's go ahead and fold this up. So there is almost one full load of stone. Should be able to get another one, I would think. Now, look at that little area where the stone was, and then you put it on the ground. Alright, so that pile seems kind of about right. But there's other things that you put in the back of a trailer that you dump it out, and the pile is a lot bigger than the trailer, and you're like, okay, how come the pile's a lot bigger than it was in the trailer? Explain that. Alright, let's get the rest of these rocks / stones picked up. Then we'll put it into a nice little pile over there. Then, of course, we'll hook up to our drill, get some oats planted. Then we'll go back and feed the chickens.
You wanna ride on my wave just because it's fun. You wanna be in my space, too close to the sun. Don't seem to care if it's safe. Well, that makes two of us. I'm so insane, and you like it. But you haven't seen anything yet. Now you're just beginning your trip to regrets. You might think you know me, but soon you forget. I'm too insane, and you know it. You got to learn to like me again and again, 'cause I will make you love me again and again. Just when you think you love me, you'll think again, 'cause I will make you hate me again and again. I'll say I'm fine when I'm not, just to mess you up. I won't be home when you want, and I won't pick up. You'll spend your time with your watch, counting down the clock. You'll go insane, and I like it. But you haven't seen all of me yet. Now I'm just beginning your work in progress. You might think you know me, but soon you forget. I'm too insane, and you know it. You got to learn to like me again and again, 'cause I will make you love me again and again. Just when you think you love me, you'll think again, 'cause I will make you hate me again and again. Again and again. Again and again. You wanna ride on my wave just because it's fun. You wanna be in my space, too close to the sun. Don't seem to care if it's safe. Well, that makes two of us. I'm so insane, and you like it. You got to learn to like me again and again, 'cause I will make you.
And this field is not as big as I originally thought it was. I have a hard time judging the size of fields lately. I thought this field was rather decent size when I was plowing it. Well, it'd be last fall. Was it last fall we planted that? I think so, or plowed it. I think so. But either way, I mean, it's going to be decent income for the grain mill, making flour and then making bread. Yeah, I'm not going through, by the amount of seed and fertilizer I'm going through, I'm guessing it's about half the size of the first field I did this morning. But overall, like I said, little by little, a little grain here, a little grain there. Every little grain counts. We'll make some income. I missed a spot over there on the left-hand side. I gotta go over there and get that afterwards. So I'll have some extra bags of grain and fertilizer. I say extra. I'm going to say leftover, because it's not like I'm not going to be able to use it anytime soon. The fertilizer, hopefully, maybe in the month of April. I'm guessing the oats will grow and germinate overnight / next month, and then we'll be able to fertilize the oat field. A couple more passes and we are done here. We can go back to the farm. And the good thing is, last episode we bought ourselves a pressure washer so we can wash our equipment. Are we going to repair it? Probably not. I mean, it's not that worn up. I do want to try something, and that is, I do want to go. No, I don't want to unfold you up yet. Got to get this little spot here. I do want to look at how much it would be to repair the T6 in the condition that it's in. So I know that 100% it's 9350 or 9315, somewhere in that general area. Now, someone did say with less wear on the vehicle, it's cheaper to repair. I mean, in theory, yes, it should be cheaper than $9,315, whatever it is. But I mean, if the percentage, say the tractor is worn at 10%, if it's $930 some odd to repair it, then it's not. You're not saving yourself any money, if that makes sense. You're not getting a discount on the repair because there's less wear on it. But we'll take a quick look. I don't know how much wear is on the tractor right now because it's kind of hard to tell because I got the drill attached to the T6, so we're seeing the combination of wear on both. But first, let's go ahead and wash them both up. So like I said, when I drop off the drill, we'll go over to the workshop and see how much it is to repair the wear on the vehicle. Alright, if I sneak in here just like that, that'll do. Don't knock the plow over because that would really, really suck. And spray off our drill. Does it say... Well, it doesn't say the wear on it. It's kind of neat though when you walk up to the equipment now that it shows you how much fertilizer or seed you got in the equipment or diesel fuel or what have you. I thought at one point it showed me the wear on it, but probably seeing things that night I was recording. Looks like the paint is wearing a little bit, like on the exhaust and on the steps, but on the tractor itself, is that a little bit of a nick? Let's see if I can get the wand on it, like right where the tip of the wand is. Might be a little bit of a nick in the paint there. It's hard to tell. Let's get this back into the shed. I have seen some modded sheds out there, but nothing that's really like, oh, we need that on the farm. So eventually, because you can see things are starting to get just a little bit cluttered in here. Not too bad yet, but just a little bit. Pretty soon it will be nice to have a shed to get where you get to equipment. You don't have to move things to get to the thing you're trying to get to. Alright, so I'm guessing we got about, what, 15% wear on the tractor already? Does it tell us when we go into the shop how much wear? Does it actually give us a percentage? It does not. But the repair, so it looks like it's going to be about the same. I would say we're like at 15% wear. Maybe almost, are we almost at 20%? I don't know. 50% is going to be like right about here. So maybe it is cheaper to repair it, the less wear it has on it. Oh, you know where I can tell? Wait a minute, wait. If we go to, wait a minute, if we go to here, where are we here? It's at 74%. Alright, so yeah, 74%. That should be 18. So yeah, it is actually cheaper to repair it with less wear on it. Alright, so we're going to repair it. We are going to repair it because full repair is 9,000. So like I said, 10% of 9,000 should be 900. We were at 75%, so even if you double it, that's 1,800. So at 80% it would be 1,800. So yeah, it actually is cheaper to get it repaired with less damage on it. Alright, so now that we know that, that's fine. I don't mind repairing it like that. So I'm going to have to start repairing this more often than not. I don't like the repair bills overall, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and back up to our trailer. Yeah, it seems like the repair bills are a lot higher than they were in 19? Or does it just seem that way because, you know, I'm short on the cash? At some point it would be nice to get a second trailer. Don't have to keep customizing the one that we currently have. And here we just want to do this. And ta-da! Oh, nope, I always forget. Yeah, when you customize it, it unhooks your trailer. Haven't done that in a while where I just forgot that it does that. Alright, so they need about 7,000 liters of wheat. But someone parked a plow kind of right where we need to get to. Oh, we still got a lot of wheat. How much barley we got left? We got a lot of barley and wheat left. So these 3 fields that we have currently for the chickens is more than enough to keep them fed for a year. So we may start taking some of that grain down to milling it over as well. We'll just make sure when we get to the harvest this year. I mean, the harvest should be better this year because we got the lime on the fields. So I should have about 5,000 to 6,000 liters left. Yep, 5,300. It just seems like I've been feeding the chickens a lot recently because we went through winter. So skipping a few months. Yeah, so I really don't. Originally when I put this down, and then you guys were telling me, by the way, now in 22, the grain silos out like it's always been. 200,000 liters, which this holds, is the max of all the grain types, not per grain type. I was like, uh-oh, how many silos are we going to need? But the way we're doing it, since we're doing mostly production buildings, those silos are only going to hold what we need feed for the chickens. Before I forget, I think I'm done with the rock picker. I don't think I'm going to get time to create another field and get the stones picked up today. So before I forget, let me go ahead into forestry here and return that. Yes, we'll return that. And I just returned the wrong thing. Brilliant. That was great. I mean, I don't think I was going to get time to do that either, but I mean, you can't even click on the right. You had 2 choices, Peanut, and you screwed it up. I did. So let's return the stone picker as well. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be cut. I thought maybe cutting down some trees, but I was going to hold off because after I got done recording. But since I kind of screwed up, I'm going to come over here anyways and see if I got enough room for the cow barn now over here. Although now when you come over here, it looks like it's relatively big, doesn't it? Come over to here, construction. And of course we got to go to animals. And then of course it's cows. And we're going with, yep, loading item. All right, let's scroll on out. And yeah, we'll do this, and then we'll do it like this. Kind of give myself a rough idea what I'm looking at here to see how many more trees I need to take on out. I mean, that's kind of where I wanted to put it. So I think a few more trees back there. You can kind of see the fence line. Yeah, I got about maybe 2 or 3 more trees to cut down. Then after I put down the cow barn, it's going to sound kind of stupid. I'm going to replant trees. But we'll be putting down, is it under decoration or is it under landscaping be good? Because under trees, we'll be putting down like trees like that. Yeah, so a couple more trees to cut down, which is fine because we got a place to bring the wood. But for now, things are looking pretty good here. We got all the planting done for the season. Now we're just waiting for harvest, waiting for the store to come up with something good. Next episode, probably sell these tomatoes because we got a full stack of tomatoes here. Nothing in storage as of yet, but it's time to sell those. If you want to see what's going on, actually, I want to see what's going on. If we come on down here to have a seat, this is the amount of furniture we have currently. I think I may have showed you last episode. Not much has changed because we're still in the same day, still pretty much in the same hour. But the oat fields are done. We're all set to go. The only field that needs a little bit of work, and I just mean a little bit, We got to get a fertilizer spreader after this crop grows over here, which could be in the month of April. So we need to get another stage of fertilization down on here. 73%. And also, I would like to fertilize the grass field over here before we harvest that, because I'm missing a stage of fertilization on here as well. Needs lime, needs rolling. Yep, we're working on the lime. Hopefully later this year we'll have it and we'll be good to go. But we're keeping an eye on the store page for a combine harvester. And it's probably going to pop up the one I don't want. But we'll see what happens. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in No Man's Land. But until then, have a good one.